All right. Hey, guys. Okay. We're doing it. Let's make sure my mic is on. Hang on. Okay. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Hang on a minute. I just saw something in the corner that caught my attention. Wow. Okay. So I might break for water every now and then. So you're going to have to excuse me. Hang on one moment. Crap. Okay. So a couple days ago, I posted this article. I don't know if it's been updated. Um, I because I've had the tab open. Who knows? So Megan in this Netflix thing. I'm not really sure exactly. I believe that this article, Tom is okay, leaving a rental property in Mexico. I believe that this, and I did a video and I thought it was pretty fucking hilarious, but I turned my mic off. Either I turned my mic off or YouTube decided they didn't want my video up. One or the other. So we get 17 minutes in. I tried to then edit the video to take out the remainder up until 17 minutes, and I couldn't get into the editor. And I'm like, you know. So I just left it because whenever I pull shit down, I get, people get pissed at me when I do that. So we're going to do it again. And I'm going to read this, and then I am going to point out what I believe are massive lies and inconsistencies, although in some cases I could be wrong. But then as I'm going through this, I mean, I just have to mention this first. Hang on. Oh. Meghan Markle is now rebranding herself as a trad wife. Oh. Which is generally associated with conservative women. And I have been in many discussions over this. For me, and so I apologize because I know I'm going to piss some people off, and just tell me if I'm pissing you off, and just tell me why. But she's not. She's just lazy, and that's why she got married to Harry, because I don't think there was any love there. I think she just wanted to snatch someone, you know. Trad wife. It's sort of like, okay, this is my opinion of it. I know you guys might be pissed, but it's what I view right now. I don't think there is anything wrong if you want to be a stay-at-home mom or wife. I I just think it's fine if that's what you want to do. Okay. On the other hand, being from the era I'm from, I believe that how can I put this? You've got to have a skill set in case something would happen. I mean, what would happen if you're a trad wife and you're 23 years old? Oh my God, 25 years old or something. And I mean, this, oh my God. And all of a sudden your husband dies and you're sitting there, or all of a sudden your husband leaves you. I'm just putting some stuff out because, you have to have a skill set, and you have to be able to do something to take care of yourself in case something happens. Otherwise, you're just going to end up on welfare and in some sort of government subsidized unit. And and I'm not knocking someone that might be listening that's in that situation, but right now I'm trying to think of different. I mean, I'm having, and people know this, from my accident, I'm having, issues with mobility. Like I could not. Well, I suppose I could. I was going to say I can't do something like become a waitress. Not that I would want to. Well, all right, now I'm going to not. Okay. Because I have, I have administrative skills that I acquired and nursing skills, and I've worked at hospitals, ORs, and I mean, just all this shit, right? So, but what I'm saying is, like, if you want to get part-time money, no tax on tips, blah, 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 um, which is a big deal, which I talked about in my last video. Um, like, I suppose I could be a waitress on crutches. I don't know. And then just, or, use one crutch and push a tray, a cart, and get really good tips because people would feel sorry for me. Okay. But what I'm saying is that these people, these women, I've seen some of these chicks, they do videos, they talk about it. Like Lauren Southern was one that wanted to do this, and it's just yeah, I had this shit shoved down my throat so much with my mother and her disgruntledness during the 70s and 80s. It was just so much. And then in the 90s, she, had some money. Well, my dad had made significantly more money and was able to do more, and started his own business and shit, and did a lot of different traveling, and would win, he went on trips with the companies he worked for if he could sell a certain amount. And this is something I watched him do actually since I was born, to be bluntly honest, or since my memory serves. But I had, my mom was just so disgruntled with being a housewife. And I remember, when the ERA was being voted on state by state, she voted for it, man. And when she was able to get credit cards that said her name on it instead of Mrs. Harry Markle or whatever, she was like ecstatic. She was like, yeah. And then she was able to actually establish credit rating, right? And I really tried to, she did some stuff like on the side at home, and I really tried to encourage her, and it was like very overwhelming at the time. It was pretty bad. And okay, so I'm going way off track, but if she's saying that she's a trad wife, she's not a trad wife. She doesn't even know what that means. That for what that means to me right now is that you boss a man around and you don't work. And no offense. And for Megan, that would mean she'd still need a couple of housekeepers, a couple of nannies, and then somebody else coming in to help. She doesn't have kids though. And I lost my glasses. Okay, here they are. And then she, would do her charity work on the side. But come on, this woman is not going to she's not going to scrub toilets. She's not going to, like Harry doesn't work. He does his meditations at home basically so he can cope with all the bullshit he's doing. But I mean, I called this shit out with my own family a long time ago. I'm just like, I knew what was going on. I'm like, I tried to, talk to my mom about this and tell her, hey, just because you've chosen to be a stay at home mom doesn't mean that you're not worth, you don't have value. Once she started like doing things that entertained her, she didn't care anymore. Right. But, um, I will tell you this much. We had the damn cleanest house on the street. I'll tell you that right now. And second to Maria and her husband, I'm not even going to say, uh, I will tell you this much because they lived next door to who would become and who is right now the Milwaukee County secretary. I think it's called county secretary. Yeah. So, so we won't talk about that. But Meghan Markle is fucking crazy ass shit. And, um, if she's a trad wife, what would happen if she was like in a trailer park somewhere? Okay. Or she's just not. She doesn't even have kids. This is such bullshit. So let's talk about this. Okay. I'm probably 15 minutes into this damn thing. But when I saw this, I'm like, are you fucking kidding? She's rebranding now? Next thing you know, she's going to try to get a job at the Trump White House. All right, here we go. So we've got, Megan's father, I'm leaving America for a new life abroad. And this is why. Oh, God. And why is it says, and this is why, which we never actually really find out. At the end of the day, it's because of Trump, but he lives in Mexico. So that, makes sense. But it tells me that maybe he just uses that house in Mexico for, I was always wondering why he was in LA so much. Does he have plates from Mexico on his car? Yeah, what? Like, this guy's as much full of shit as Megan is. All right. Here we go. In this exclusive interview, actually, Tom would talk to anybody if they gave him money. So, nobody really gives a shit about this guy. Thomas Markle reveals why he's moving to the other side of the world and what it means for his hopes of ever seeing his grandchildren. Okay. That title right there. Okay. Lady C and a couple of other ridiculously, I can't, should I? This Taz and some other chick, and they were just like these big, huge, overweight babes. We're having I'm sorry, a fundraiser. Hey, it's just like, you're so funny. You just show, yeah, no, okay. And, fuck a duck, and, because Tom is so sick that he needs money to survive. Now, let's not forget, this guy had won Emmys, more than 1, 2, 3 or something, okay? He worked on at the time, the most successful television shows in the country, in the United States, which General Hospital, I never watched soaps, but I know people were just addicted to General Hospital. They bought like VCRs and they were taping it. And if they worked second shift, they were, because I'm from, I'm from the factory scene. I didn't work in one, but, my friends and people that I, spent the majority of my time with, well, a lot of time with, let's put it that way, for many years when I wasn't with my brokerage friends. At the time, you know, um, they were into this. This was a big. There was a big storyline. Luke and Laura, some dude with like an afro, a man with a perm. Maybe he had curly hair, but he had a perm, and then with the long blonde hair, and how they were falling in love and escaping and all this crap. And there was this big drama thing. And I believe he worked there at the time. He also won awards and lived in Chicago working for PBS, which I'm sure he has profit sharing, pension sharing, 401k. Well, at the time, I don't believe they had 401ks back in the 70s. I think that those were first introduced in the 80s. We went over this. Was it or 90s? I don't know. I just remember my brokerage firm was offering this and they were trying to explain it to us and all this shit. It's where you put money in savings and then your employer matches it, and you can only go to a certain percentage of your income. And there's a max per retirement plan. And these especially, well, what a dumb fuck. And there are age restrictions of when you can use the money or if you need it for an emergency. But he's 80 now, so he has clear access to these funds without having to worry about paying a penalty to withdraw the shit. Um, let's see what else. So he's got that. I'm sure he has good insurance coverage because for number one, he's got Medicare. Number two, he has a SUP, which I'm sure, I don't think he's on Medicaid. But here you have Lady C and these other broads throwing fundraisers for this guy because he's so poor and so on the outs and he's sick with his stroke. But now he's giving exclusive interviews and moving to like Thailand. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I've got an injury right now that would definitely prevent me from doing something like that. I mean, I could travel somewhere, but to move house right now, I'm not just talking like moving your belongings. I'm talking about like moving to Asia with all your shit and packing it and then taking it around until you find someone who's kind. Who does that remind you of? Okay. All right. How much further do we need to go? So just the title alone says bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And what it means for his hopes of ever seeing his grandchildren. Well, Meghan is married to Prince fucking Harry. If they want to get on a plane with those kids and get on a private jet, what's stopping her? She lives a couple hundred miles away, apparently. And have you tried going there, Tom? And then you have a group of people who actually believe this bullshit, which it has me even more freaked out by it. I know I'm right. I know damn fucking well I'm right. This guy's been lying all along. And there are no grandchildren, so maybe he's putting this out as a plant. You know what I think this is? I think this is a puff piece to promote her next Netflix bullshit. And I'll show you in the article. Okay. So Meghan Markle, I can't believe I have to read this for like a fourth time, but we'll do it. Her estranged father, Tom, is planning a fresh start abroad in 2025 in the hope he can live out his final years in peace. Well, he's probably looking for a prostitute to suck his you-know-what. I mean, that's what these guys do over there. Well, Tom Jr. will for sure. These guys are such losers. I mean, they're such losers. Fundraiser. Well, fucking A. Okay? Just fucking A. Yeah, and I'm swearing during this. So if you feel that you're above that, you can split. This shit. There are a group of people in this area that I'm in right now, and they feel that it is oh my god, it's like they freak out if you drop the F-bomb. And like where I'm from, like you walk outside your door and you hear the F-bomb. I mean, ah, ah, I can't even. I cannot fucking do it, but I'll do it. In particularly poignant announcement this week. Oh my God. Yeah. In an announcement this week, we've had two I believe both to be staged events, but I won't get into it. Well, one of them was very fishy. But the videos, I can't get into that. So you have like this terrorist event thing going on in New Orleans. You have this Tesla blowing up, but it blew up and there was an explosion, and it burnt the body beyond recognition. But for some reason, his driver's license wasn't burnt. Yeah, can you believe that? Honey, I've got a glacier I want to sell you in the Everglades, okay? Oh, God, this is such bullshit. Oh, this is just such bullshit. Okay. I don't know okay. So you have like a huge movement going on. Then you've got like a fragment going on, which I believe is nothing more than an astroturf ploy to divide MAGA, but I won't even get into that. Um ah, shit just keeps getting better and better. But Tom Margle's announcement that he's leaving Mexico is fucking like, this is major. Like, he doesn't even live in the US. And there are no kids. Okay. As his daughter launched her glossy new Netflix lifestyle show with Love Megan. Oh my God. Do you love me, Megan? There's one person who Meghan Markle loves, and that is Meghan Markle. And that is why the whole issue with surrogacy, no way. Well, you know what? Yeah, let's do that quick. Let's go into Brave AI. Let's try it just for the hell of it. I don't know if this will work or not. Is a narcissist a sociopath? Yeah. I just woman going to have a surrogate. This is just for kicks and giggles. I'm not wording this. To carry her child. I don't know. Maybe not. Let's go back. Let's go with AI. Oops. Let's go back. Go forward. Oh boy. Unavailable. Oh, well, let's not get into this. 5 ways being a narcissist. Okay. All right, we'll do it another time then. Let's do it this way. Let's go back. Like, no one is going to be good enough to be like her, right? You know what I'm saying? Why would she want, especially an ugly one? Well, all right, so that's not going to work. The search just was not going to work. Okay. Sorry for going off track. And by the way, in this picture right here, she's got her one hand resting and the other just like carrying a basket, and then she's looking down at something. I don't know. She's trying to be Kate Middleton, I'll tell you that right now. So the most important thing that happened in the United States this week. Oh, and by the way, Biden's giving that creep over in Ukraine more money. I can't wait. If that shit doesn't end, I swear I will be off MAGA. I will burn my well, I'm not going to burn my MAGA hat, but I'm going to hide it underneath a bunch of stuff and pull it out only for emergency occasions, right? In particularly, whatever. Tom told the Mail on Sunday he has decided to pick up sticks. To up sticks. I never heard that term before, but whatever. And leave the cliffside house in Mexico he has called home for 10 years. I thought it was longer than that. That is weird. I thought that he purchased that house because he lived there because he was so downtrodden and so down on his luck that was the only thing that he could possibly do. He had to live in a shit infested area loaded with drug dealers and rapists and murderers and crap like that. And because he no longer could be in LA. Bullshit, 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 bullshit. Boomers had been going down to Mexico to live as like a haven because it was less expensive and you could get so much more for less money. And it was, obviously the weather. He lives in a resort town, which I've researched extensively and did so when I put together my first video. He lives in a place called Rosarito. Let's make sure. I just got to make sure this fucking mic. Yeah. Okay. Which is a vacation/resort community. It looks really nice, and quite frankly, the rent looks relatively inexpensive. But I thought he owned the place. But I mean, we've seen pictures of the inside. It looks quite nice. From what I could see, it almost looked to me like he had marble tile floors. They didn't look ceramic. They looked very nice, which, a lot of Mexico is like that, Okay. So he decided to leave Mexico. All right. I thought he was there longer than 2015, but okay. Because in 2018 we had this shit. But isn't it weird how after he got all the money donated to him, and after Lady C, and he was dying and on his deathbed, and like he's still suffering from stroke symptoms, and he has all these problems, and he needs to be near his cardiologist and his neurologist and his physical therapist. Guess what? None of that shit ever happened. Okay. I think he might have had like some stents put in or something like that. I don't believe he ever had a heart attack before Meghan's wedding. And I know for sure he didn't have a stroke before the Jubilee. And Dan Wooten had this guy ready to come over. They were going to cover the Jubilee. He was going to, and I quote, I still have these videos, he was going to find Prince Charles and Camilla to have tea at Clarence House, which I'm guessing and assuming that whole area would have been kind of cordoned off then. He was going to be on TV. Let's see what else. This is a 300-pound man, but he became so ill that he went to an urgent care after suffering a massive stroke, which landed him in the hospital for a total of like 3 days. And then he was photographed with his clothes on a stretcher in a fake setting. It was just fake. He had an oxygen mask on, but there was no tubing between the oxygen mask and the actual tank. Therefore, he wasn't on oxygen. I don't know if okay. Um, okay. He had all his clothes on. He didn't have a blanket on or anything. And uh you know, I can't. Okay. He was lying. Okay, but Lady C put who is a liar herself, who has been telling us for 10 years here, well, not 10 years. Okay. It hasn't been that long. Has been telling us for several years now that the divorce is in the hopper. It is in the court system in Great Britain, although no one else has reported on it, i.e., like people that cover court proceedings in British news outlets. Let's see what else. That they're going to get divorced, but what kills me is that she lied to her husband about being a man or whatever she is, and like he divorced her within like a couple days of them getting married or something. And she suddenly he's ready to get on that fucking plane, and 4 hours before or something like that, maybe 8 hours before he's ready to like board. And then Dan Wooten comes on, and we have some breaking news, which is very upsetting. Tom Merkel, who is going to join us. And then that was the end of that. And he always sits there with his head tilted, with like an earpiece in, listening. He's a liar. He's a liar. He's full of shit. He knows how to manipulate and do a stage and act. When you're around people and you're producing TV shows and you're running the entire he was director of photography for these things. Lighting director photography. He is around this shit. This is his business. This is his shtick. This is his thing. You think he can't act? Plus, his daughter is an actress, not a good one. She thinks she's, the shit, but she's not. All right. Holy shit. Tom Markle suffered 2 heart attacks and a stroke. No, he did not. In recent years, and we can do that again, but he is lying because he's a liar. And he has no problem doing it at the same level that Meghan has no problem lying about the fact that she has 2 children. She doesn't have children. Okay? She just doesn't. We see their backs, and then we see like stick figures of kids that don't look like normal American kids or normal LA kids. Unless you're talking about someone like Violet Affleck. Oh my God. Okay. These people, they give me so much material to work with. Okay, so he lied about that shit. In recent years. Okay, so 2 heart attacks in recent years. When you say recent years, like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? In recent years, I had MRSA and an abscess in my psoas muscle. What does that mean? Fuck. His decision to seek a new life abroad is because he's seeking peace and a kinder people. I'll tell you what's going on, and I might have mentioned this. Maybe what's going on is you have the fucking illegals coming back down there, okay? And I did a search on that, and I'm not finding a lot of data, but there is going to be a deportation of criminals, and they're going to be on his back door, which is why I'm guessing they have the plywood there. I can't figure that out, either that or the heat. But the main reason for doing that is so that somebody doesn't fucking break into your house, okay? So that whole spiel I can't figure out, but I'll figure it out, I'm just going to grab some water. Hang on a minute, guys. All right. He's seeking peace and a kinder people. So, can he speak the language? I don't know. I'm just go back to some of these, a couple of these, and I haven't watched this shit since I got out of the hospital, which was quite a while ago. But according to this article, it would be last week, right? Fuck. I can't stand these people, honestly. And I can't. You know what? I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. When you go and these people, what is he going to do over there? What kind of is he looking for a woman? Because that's what this tells me. But how on earth is someone his 80 years old? How does he even have the strength? I don't care. Don't say his son is doing it for him. No way. You can't just get up and get a visa to go live in another country like that. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I don't believe a lot of this shit. Okay. He wants to be with nicer people. Okay. Well, like I said, if the criminals are going to be deported back down to that area, I could see how you might be a little uptight. I was with Tom this week as he packed up. This is such horseshit. The lady that wrote this needs to just be slapped silly. As he packed up a lifetime of memories, now this one kills me. I had to look this up. We drank PG tips. I mean, I have been to England, I don't know how many times, and to Ireland. I never even heard of this. It's tea. Maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't know. I never heard of it. I never saw it. Okay. In 15 trips. And I'm not exaggerating. I could even, well, was it 15? Maybe 13, 14. It was more than, and ate endless mince pies. Where did you get them from? Did he bake them? I thought he was sick. His stroke affected he couldn't do anything. But he somehow managed to go and buy a bunch of, dough, roll out. Well, he is Megan's father, right? A lighting director. Where in the fuck are you going to get mincemeat pies in Rosarito, Mexico? Is that what people go down there for? Or did he have them shipped in from LA? I mean, mincemeat pies. Oh my, you know what? And I'll tell you somebody that made them all the time in my life. I mean, all the time. And she would send them home. I would never touch that. And my grandmother, my mom's mother, I mean, she would have one of those going on. She was a baker though. I mean, and she worked at a bakery. She worked at AMP Bakery for a living. She was in the Bakers Union. And actually she had a finger chopped off while she was working. She never complained about it, but and it was on, on her right hand, she never, it wasn't like it was her thumb. I can't remember which finger it was, but it wasn't the pinky, but she still worked right through that. I mean, not with the finger hanging around or whatever, but I don't know where the finger actually ended up. Oh my God. But she used to make mincemeat pies like all the time. She just loved them. Now, when we were together, she would teach me how to do everything from scratch. And I would read, and I was, a good reader. And I would read everything and I would ask her questions about everything. And she just loved that because I was the only granddaughter. She had only 3 granddaughters and the rest were grandsons. And I was the only one. My sister was always doing something in a tomboy. My older female cousin was a fucking wretch and a bitch and still is. And she's just crazy, bad shit. And I mean, she's like, I don't know how many years older she is. I don't give a shit about, I try to be nice to her. She's just a train wreck. And, I sent her some pictures I found of her and she's just like, never thanked me, never, what do you want? I'm like, why? I mean, she just never liked me. And I really don't care. But getting back, and she just, I don't care. But I was the only person that would actually take interest and ask questions about things, you know, and she taught me everything. I mean, really detailed. And I know how to do it. It's just, I'm a little rusty, but I'm talking, everything by scratch. So, but we used to do like pecan, lemon meringue was my favorite. Um, and I'm not talking about box pudding. I'm talking about lemon juice and making it on the stove and all that crap. I used to absolutely love that shit. But she loved mincemeat pies. I don't believe it, is what I'm getting at. Again, I don't believe it. Um, so they just sat around eating mincemeat pies and drinking tea for like a week while he packed shit to leave the country for kinder people. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. As he sorted his possessions, who in God's name would want a reporter at the Daily Mail there? How many hours a day did she spend there? Did she sleep overnight there? Where did she stay? How did she find Rosarito to be? Was it the shithole that Lady C describes? And Wooten? And the rest of the world that doesn't really know that doesn't live here in America? I'm talking North and South. Oh, and then this one kills me. He burned those things he did not wish to keep. Now, I want you to think about this for a minute. What in God's name does an 80-year-old man have in his possessions, and where in Rosarito, Mexico, would he start a bonfire to burn them? Or did he put them in a fireplace? And what was he, like, burning chairs? Like, what the fuck was he burning? Magazines? That's gonna fuck up your house. It's this I don't believe. His Emmys? Like, what does he keep in there that he has so much shit that he needs to burn it? And then, can we see pictures of the burning? Can we see pictures that are being described in this article? No, we can't, because they don't exist. Because this is all a bunch of lies. I mean, where was he burning the shit? I mean, can you just start fires and start burning refuse in Rosarito? Here were Megan's school reports. Did he burn those? Why doesn't he just send them to her? Send them FedEx or registered mail. Like, this isn't rocket science here. Like, what is he keeping that shit for? I happen to run across my own. You can get that crap from these schools anyway. Dating back to the 80s. Or I know he's burning pictures of his his other granddaughter, or his granddaughter Nicole, who was into Hitler and wanted to be his wife and was also a lesbian. And no one seemed to have a problem with that on any of the channels. No one commented on it. Oh, yeah, all right, whatever. But if you do that on Twitter or X or whatever, you're automatically, okay. Who demonstrates, she has school reports describing her as a child who demonstrates constant effort. Well, that's nice. That doesn't mean shit. And is active in classroom discussions. What does that mean? Is she demonstrating? An autistic kid can demonstrate, well, maybe not. A Down syndrome child demonstrates constant effort. Me getting out of bed with a broken pelvis every day is constant effort. But I thought Tom Markle, his life and his illness was constant effort and a constant struggle. I swear to God, if you gave money to this dude, you should start a petition on your, wherever you guys, on some whatever liberal site, and get your money back. And if you did give money or did buy this shit, believe it, you're fucking stupid. There were dog-eared documents he first received when she was 9 years old. What about in kindergarten? Wasn't she like gifted or crowned class queen or some shit? And which he has treasured all these years. Oh, he just sits around reading her report cards. Come on. I thought he was sick. Get out. I'm just not buying it. Like, Meghan isn't that important that we need to know that. Let's see a picture of it, Caroline. Honestly, let's see a picture of it. I would, everybody knows who Meghan is. I think she lives at a different, you could just black out the address. And I want to see it. You know why? Because this is bullshit. She's not going to go all the way down to a resort community in Mexico to interview him while he is going through a report card and starting a bonfire or a fire in a fireplace somewhere. I thought he'd be an environmentalist. What is he burning? Like, is he like burning furniture? Clothing? Well, it could be lice-infested clothing. I don't know. Does this guy ever smile? Does he have teeth? Have you ever seen this guy with a grin? Look at, even with this, I'm quitting America and here's why. He never smiles. He looks exactly the same. And I'm supposed to believe that he has been through hell and back and almost died and needed a fundraiser in Great Britain from Lady C. No, I don't believe it. There were endless photographs of Meghan. Where are they? They already don't speak to each other. What's she going to do? Sue him for the in Thailand or whatever? Was she going to take him to court? And by the way, I told you that case with Meghan and Samantha Markle would never go through. Oh, you're wrong. You're saying, no, I'm not right. She didn't have a case. She didn't write the book, right? Therefore, how can she be the one doing the defamation? I didn't even, it's not credible. They were feeding ducks with the dad, and playing crazy golf. I have no idea what crazy golf is. Laughing and during fishing trips to a neighboring lake. Where was this lake? Let's see the pictures. endless photos of Meghan feeding ducks. I don't believe it. Maybe like one or two. Where are these pictures? What prohibits you from publishing them? Oh, yeah, she could sue the Daily Mail. That I would say. Oh, I didn't know it was 11 o'clock. Oh, shit. The images could come from any happy family album, something which struck me as particularly sad. Oh, honey, don't feel bad for him. He's laughing all the way to the bank. Watching Tom, I wouldn't call him Mr. Markle. Are you fucking kidding? Wait, he wanted to be knighted after 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 Meghan and Harry got married. Let's see if I can find this. Oh my god. Um ah, ah, do you remember this one? Let's see. Let's answer with AI. There is no information available. Ah. The context primarily focus. No, I remember it. I do remember this. Why can't did I bookmark this? Let's go 2018. Oh, I do remember it. You bet I do. Wikipedia page. Mm. Oh, this guy never smiles. Never. Not one picture. No wonder she doesn't want to be around him. He never even opens his mouth. Look at it. I mean, okay. Even here. What is with that? Here. It's almost like he doesn't even exist. I don't even want to go there. So, all right, let's go back. You know what? And I will find it. You know why? I think I did a video on that. I really do. And it's on private. And that, I just hate going through all those old videos because they are so bad. Okay. Each photograph. Now listen to this one. Images could come from Miss Tom carefully pack up the only. It was sad. Oh, were you okay, honey? But you were drinking so much tea. How was the bathroom? Was it clean? He now has of his youngest child. Oh my God, child. Oh, come on. Just say youngest daughter or something. You know what I mean? Child. Well, yeah, I guess that it's in. You can't say that. Okay. He remembers affectionately calling Megsy, who he would cradle in his arm. I don't even believe that. Oh, listen to this one. And rock to sleep to the sound of the rumbling fridge. So this would have been in the 80s. He was making a lot of money working for some big, again, large productions, union scale, and he had a fridge that made noise. I'm not sure. I mean, I've lived in my first apartment had a fridge from I think the 60s that I needed to defrost. I never remember it making that much noise and shaking the floor. I see. I don't believe that. Oh shoot! Hang on. The images could have come from any happy family album. I don't. Where are the fridge pictures, hun? Something which struck me as sad. Okay, we did that. This is bad. Then he took each picture and carefully placed each picture in a plastic bag for protection. Good God, how many bags did you have? Is that what you normally do with each picture? Is you put each picture in a plastic bag? Uh, I don't see how there were that many. I mean, you must have had like baggies and, like what kind of bags? Like he must have spent $1,000 on Ziplocs because that shit's expensive right now. I mean, this shit's so expensive here right now. Maybe in Mexico it's not as much, but I mean, I have to take the bags from the produce department. I put them in my cart, and when I check out, I just tell people, "Hey, I'm taking these bags. Is that for my produce? Is that okay?" They're like, "Yeah." I, I don't hide it. I usually take about 4 or 5, and they're like, "Yeah, okay." You buy a head of lettuce, then you put it in there, and then I shove them right in my purse. I've been doing this for a couple of years since, inflation. No one has ever, and I've told people, I said, I'm taking these bags. Is that okay? Yeah. I put 'em in my pocket. No one, I don't steal shit, but what's the point of spending money yeah, I know. Yeah, that sounds bad, doesn't it? Well, you know what? If I can spend money on something else, I'm going to. I'm not going to spend $10 on some baggies. I mean, uh, that don't even work. All right. Um, so then he put them in a plastic bag and then put it into boxes for the long journey to wherever life might take him. I don't believe it. So he's going to travel around the world somewhere with a bunch of boxes until he can find a place where people are kind. See, this is what happens when my spontaneity. So then basically what the article turns into are pictures of Tom where he doesn't smile. His head is always off to the side. And then it's a big puff piece for Megan. And here we have Megan with reddish brown hair. Here we have Megan with her hair piece on. You can see it. Look, you see it? She has her weave on, okay? With her extensions, you can see where the weave is. Actually, you see how the sun's reflecting off some of that shit? And all we do is see her bend down and set a table. And I mean, this is a pretty major centerpiece. What is she going to do with the lemons? Because you can't just leave that shit there all the time, can you? You know what I mean? I mean, it looks nice, but if you're having a party, but then what are you going to, what are you going to do with all those then? Because they're going to end up being thrown out by you, Megan, except for maybe a few. And she, carries bunches of flowers, and then she's got something in her hand, but it looks she's not doing anything with it. It looks like either a syringe or a knife, but she's just got it on the table. What exactly is she doing there? But she's a trad wife, and she's got like doilies and she's got all this shit all over. What is she going to do with this crap? And there's a pie sitting on the arm of a chair. Oh no, it's on one of those. I was going to buy one of those little things. You can buy them on Creative Co-op has those. Yeah, I see what she's got there. She doesn't do this shit. I don't care. I don't give a shit what the hell she's putting on Netflix. This chick doesn't do this shit. She'd like to, or no, she thinks it's cool and she wants it. But I mean, what is she gonna do with all this crap? Oh my god. Hang on, I have something in my eye. Okay. Oh my god. When I tell him he's brave, oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me? You want to know what brave is, Tom Merkel, you fucker? You know what brave is me walking around on crutches with spike uh, inserts or spike things that I put outside my shoes to get fresh air with my broken pelvis. In -2 degree temperatures, which I actually still want to do tonight yet. I did last night. That's why I didn't put the video up. Brave Tom Merkel taking a bunch of money from all his fucking savings and benefits and all his bullshit and crap that ladies see, and that's brave. And then he's going to travel around the world. What is he going to put it on a plane? He's going to put it on a ship. Like how is it going to get through customs? And where is he? He has to have a destination. So this is all lies. He's putting it in storage somewhere, and it's going to be on Storage Wars, and people are going to bid on it in 10 years. Yep. I thought he was so sick he couldn't do anything. Now I find out he's putting all his shit in boxes and he's traveling all over the world to start a new life. Liar, liar, pants on fire. I'm ready for a change. I have felt stuck in a rut for some time, and I'm ready to meet new people and experience kindness. Now, where have we heard this kindness thing before? Wow, is this a load of shit? Holy crap. On one table, there are videos of Megan's first wedding. Now, how do you know that? Is there a big, huge marker? Megan and Trevor. And then we get to learn more about, we get to, this shit all over. Mary and Trevor, who married on a beach in Jamaica, only divorced 2 years later. I really like Trevor. I mean, we know this already. This is just a promotional piece for Megan. And again, I think you should go to change.org or wherever you people went and get your money back if you gave 1 penny to this fucker. While there is no suggestion he is fleeing because of Meghan and Harry, he says he hopes to find a quieter place to live. How? And is considering options in Southeast Asia. Well, okay, so I watch a streamer. It's just today I got irritated with this. I don't trust or like a lot of people, and I'm not even sure about him, but it's Jason Goodman, and he does a commentary with some guy, Charles Ortel, once a week, and I find it to be interesting because Charles Ortel is a journalist and he has some very interesting political takes. A lot of stuff. He was in DC today, Jason. Then I have my thoughts and feelings on January 6th. When evidence is destroyed, there is a reason for that. Liz Cheney. Okay? When you run on the promise of getting that evidence, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Nancy Pelosi has to come back for it, right? And I saw her walking into Congress. I came very close to calling her San Francisco office to wish her my best. I can see she's having a rough time and is in pain. I know the feeling. I find walkers to be difficult to use, but I like my crutches. I use one crutch just for balance purposes around the house, or I try to walk with nothing. But I'm not there yet. I don't like walkers, but they're difficult to use, I think, and they're big and bulky and stuff. But I saw her walking into Congress today, and she's she had a bad injury. If she fell down marble steps at her age, yeah, it's a bad injury. Um, I forgot what I was. Oh yeah, I was listening to Charles Ortel, and he moved to, I think, Indonesia, if I'm not mistaken, or Thailand, or he's traveling all over the place right now and loving it. According to him, he's having the time of his life. Um, he's going to really good restaurants. Well, he's a classy guy. Tom Markle doesn't even. I've never seen the guy smile. Okay, and it's an option. And I did do some research on that, and it is relatively, you can live there inexpensively, but he is used to a different standard of living there in Rosarito, which is actually, it looks pretty good. Um, he's going to be just flying around, and he's considering options, but he isn't sure where he's going yet. Does this make sense to you guys? But he's really sick, but he's well enough to hang out in Thailand or Indonesia or whatever, and just, look for kind people, even though he's like on his deathbed and dying, according to Samantha Markle, according to Lady C et al. And that Tasmanian devil chick that's just a huge heifer, and other people. Sorry. I traveled in that part of the world when I was a younger man. The people are so kind and welcoming. They are respectful to older people. Now, okay. He needs his dick sucked. Okay? And he'll pay for it because he has money now, right? He always has. That's a myth too. You see what I'm saying? This was all a myth. The health shit, the financial shit. Flush it down the toilet, people. You know what? What I would really like to see is, like, don't tell anyone and just get on a plane and go to Great Britain and just go there. You wanted to meet your in-laws, right? Or you wanted to meet Harry's parents and shit, right? When, like, Kate, when these people, I don't know. Something's not right with this story. It is a place of culture and beauty. Yeah, but if you haven't been there in, let's see, like 50 years, how the hell do you know what's going on there right now? And by the way, how the fuck, like, I read your history, right? Your Wikipedia page and shit. How did you get out of serving in Vietnam? How did you get out of the draft? You got married right as they were cutting that off, and then you divorced her because you're such a piece of shit and a liar. Um, and Doria just looks like that woman, I mean, she confronts the camera and her eyes tell you, "Hey, fuck you, I hate you." She is just a piece of garbage too. These people are, oh, is she distasteful. Ugh. And she looks like trash. She looks like dreadlocks to a royal wedding where the preacher's talking about black liberation theology. What? These people are, ugh. So then it says, incredibly has yet to meet his son-in-law. We know that already. Archie 5 or Lilibet 3. Okay. So, oh God. Doesn't Archie have a birthday coming up in a few months? So basically, um, we're getting a recap. I can't believe that the world has not, it's been almost 6 years and she has kept that one under wraps. But still tries to produce material to get popular. Oh, wait a minute. He hasn't met 3-year-old Lilibet. Oh, wait, we have to be told who is named after the late queen. Oh my God. Lilibet does not exist. Wait. All right. He has come to accept that he will now likely never will. It's only been 3 years when you think about it. But you're taken off. I see. This is weird. Emmy Award winning Hollywood lighting director. I thought he was just piss poor and in shit health that where he's like dying. According to everybody else, he's been dying since 2018. The Emmy Award lighting director is not renewing his lease on his Mexico rented home. I know. I don't care. It said he's planning to travel and explore his options. What the fuck does that mean? I mean, I get it if you want to like move to South Dakota or you have a state in mind or something like that. But I think I'm just going to like fly to Asia. I can't wait to see the next chapter of this bullshit because believe me, there is a next chapter. I don't believe this is just, hey, I want to travel. I just don't. How can someone that sick pick up and just do that though? And is this one of the ugliest people you've ever seen too? And again, he doesn't smile. This could be, he wears the same shirt. There's like a rip in it. You see it? Oh my God. This thing is so worn out. I don't know where I'll end up, but it's time to move on. And he's 80 years old and find a place where I can live among kind people and enjoy the time I have left. I don't know what this guy's talking about. Well, Mr. Merkel declined to discuss politics. Well, you're not in the US. And P.S., by the way, you're so dumb and so stupid and so fucked up. We don't care what your opinion is, you piece of shit. Ugh. He said a return to his native US. He was born in Pennsylvania, but has spent most of his life working at ABC Studios in Hollywood on shows such as General Hospital and Married with Children was unlikely. I'm getting away from the politics of the states that disappoints me. You've got a liberal government. You know what? Yeah. I don't know really what you're, because you don't like, yeah, fuck you. You're not part of our movement. We don't want you because you're too fat, you're too sloppy, and you're too ugly. And look at her. What is with her wrist? What's going on there? And she's really unattractive too. She looks like, look at, here he is. This is Tom while he's packing up his belongings. I don't even know if she was there. Here's a picture of him from quite a while ago. As you can see, this is where I was commenting on the floor, but you can't really get a good view. It looks like quite a loo place, you know? I can't believe it. This just proves that I was right all the time that he was faking and lying about everything. At 80, it is time. I thought he was dying. It is time to go somewhere where people are lovely and I can enjoy a quiet. I can't believe this is even an article on, and I'm even paying attention to it. In Southeast Asia, the medical care is good. You can live reasonably cheaply. The people are kind and respect older people, and the food is healthy. He just got done saying that. Now, what are you going to eat? You going to go to a wet market, Tom? What? The food is healthy. Are you going to eat dog or cat? I am like serious. The food is healthy. He's in Mexico, where most of our produce is shipped up from. Mostly, I just want peace. At 80, none of us know how long we have left. I want whatever time I have to be peaceful. I'm not quite understanding. This is the same sentence over and over, taking up an entire article with none of the awful trauma. Okay. Well, you're in Mexico. I don't know. And they just elected a Jewish babe as president there, which is really weird. Despite living in a beachside community, a 250-mile car ride from the Sussexes, 11 million pound, 16 bathroom. And let me tell you something. What was that, 14, 15 million dollars? You know what? That's not a lot right now. That's like for LA and for a star, for Prince Harry, that's like a shack. I'm serious. Because that's how bad shit's gotten here. 16 bathroom. I don't believe that either. He has never once been invited to visit there. Okay, we know that already. What? As a trailer for Megan's Netflix show begins this week, flaunted Montecito's teeming beehives. Oh, that's another thing. Ah! You know what? I have an ex post out to someone now. I don't think she's going to get back to me because I just don't think she is. But she did a lot of hives out in LA, and she moved to St. Augustine, and okay, I'm not going to say anything more. There are politically we disagree on things like the slaughter and the genocide that's going on. But I said, suddenly Megan is running hives off her property. Oh my god. That takes many years of skill and work and concentration. And I don't see this is just a sudden thing for her. And I don't believe it. Maybe she had someone come in and set something up. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. Wow. Her father remains firmly out in the cold. Well, why is that? And why hasn't that question been answered? Neither Meghan nor Harry have traveled to Rosarito to visit Tom. Harry asked Tom's permission to marry Meghan over the phone. I mean, oh my God, right? Her father, a three-time Emmy winner, he just did that. We just did this. This woman has no talent at all. He was making a good six-figure living in the 90s. See? I was talking about that. And in the 90s, and it was probably prior to that too. And six figures could mean for Tom 600, 700 a year. Notice how this is just coming out now, you guys. Whereas, according to in that shitty book that Lady C wrote, God, I don't even know where it is right now. As far as I'm concerned, I can't even believe I bought it. It is so poorly written. The font is absurd. The writing style, I can't even. It's almost like reading when I tried to read Mein Kampf. It's, you know, well, I mean, I was trying to read it after 9/11. It's, we were all giving it actually, my brother-in-law was reading it or read it. It was his book. And I tried to pick it up and read it. And, the translation was hard. I'd fall asleep right away, because honestly, I didn't have a lot of spare time. I was working so much at that point. And I was so exhausted, and, the book made it sound like as if they were outcasts in a racially tense neighborhood where everybody criticized. No, no, nope, I don't think so. I saw couples like that running around on my paper route, okay? In the 70s. Don't give me that shit, Lady C. Full of shit, lady. She's full of trying to create something that isn't. Oh, yeah. He gave his daughter ballet and dance lessons. Yeah, well, that's one of the favorite uh, reasons why my lawyer won't call me back. That he's, I got to get rid of this guy. I don't know how to do it. I have got to get out of this contract. This guy is going to ruin me, and I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to get out of a legal contract. I just don't want him to be my lawyer anymore. That was one of the last text messages he sent me a while. I'm giving him a month. I'm giving him a couple more days, boy. That guy better fucking have a full report or a full update for me because I am waiting and it ain't happening because you know what? He's treading water because he hasn't worked on my case and he gave me so far really bad advice and he actually kind of fucked things up for me in a bit. And they used the fact that I filed suit against me during like as if I was just trying to take her for a ride or something. I'm like, oh, I can't fuck. I said I was in the hospital for 4 months. Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect that to pop up at a criminal trial. I don't know. I felt like I was on trial there, but that's the justice system in the US now. I mean, she went to dance lessons and private acting classes. I don't think that was a big. I mean, he was on set with her, right? Like, Dan, I want you guys to think about this. You're in LA, you're in Hollywood. Let's think about this. What percentage of the children, of the adults, of the teen, what percentage of the population does dance and ballet and acting? Okay? 70? He sent her to private school. Yeah, you know what? Let me tell you. I went to private school too. Okay. So here is the picture they show of his place and I think it's a Volvo and Escape. Okay. Which needs to be washed, but it's there's shit all over. And then, is this where he burnt? Where did he do the fires, Caroline? You All right. So here, because I can't do this anymore, because it just says he's sorting through possessions, and then it goes, and he's sorting through possessions, and he was a lighting director, and he won Emmys, and he's sorting through possessions, and Megan went to private school, and he's sorting through possessions, and lied about his income, and lied about his health problems, and he's searching for kindness, and blah, 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 blah. So we're not going to read this anymore. Here is the one picture they show of his house. Now, I'm going to go to the next article I had pulled up. Such a class act. Oh, how did that happen? Yeah, that's the Joe. Oh, that's the Joe Biden double. God, that guy never. I have not seen him smile. This was before she got married. Ooh, nope. I hit the wrong button. Oh my God. Nope. Let's get out of here quickly. Okay. Do you know Meghan Markle? I'm her dad. Thomas 73. Okay. Lives in a very unroyal beachfront hideaway in a Mexican resort where he boasts to friends about being the father of Prince Harry's fiance. Now let's listen to a description from 2017. He lives a secluded life in a little yellow house perched high on a 120-foot cliff overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Thomas Markle, 73, is seen in an exclusive Daily Mail TV pictures at his home, just south of the border, where he lives a peaceful retirement, although I'm being told he wants to look for peace again. His red-tiled home sits in a cobblestone street with plywood covered the windows that face the inland. Now, I've got to figure out why that is done. That is for a reason. And my guess is because people would try to break in. I don't know. But don't let it fool you because the whole place is like that. I don't know if that's a garage area. I don't know what that is. On the other side, he enjoys sweeping views of pelicans flying low over the Pacific and curlews and other wading birds strutting on the shore. The outline of the Coronado Islands, 8 miles out to sea, can be seen in the distance. Thomas's family recently confirmed he will be attending his daughter's wedding to Prince Harry. When approached by Daily Mail TV, he said, "I can't speak out of respect for my family. I just can't." What you say is no comment and you let it go. I mean, how did Pippa Middleton get through all of this shit, right? I don't see any peeling paint. I don't see any problems with the exterior. Looks good to me. I mean, I don't know what the fuck that is, but that's the reason why he didn't get on a plane and go to he's got like a wrench or something in his hand and go to England. His cars are parked exactly the same way, which tells me that that picture that was shown in the most recent article was most likely not a new picture. I don't believe that Caroline woman ever went there. And here is the picture. Thomas's house is perched on a 120-foot bluff which overlooks the Pacific Ocean. A large 4-bedroom vacation property at the complex can be rented for as little as $159 per night. So he has access to the beachfront. I'm not sure what that is there. Let's see. Ugh, what a pig. All right, we're finished with this because he walks with a limp that stems from a leg injury. What else does he have? How the fuck is he ever going to make it over in Southeast Asia? Ugh. In Rosarito, his neighbors are a mix of locals and Americans, and many of the apartments in the complex are let to vacationers. California license plates far outnumber those from Mexico. Residents and visitors have access to a park dotted with royal palm trees and a quiet beach club bar. The complex also houses a small supermarket, a sushi bar, and a communal tennis court and a swimming pool. But he likes to spend days relaxing at his small home. He drives both a silver Volvo S70 and a red Ford Escape, and instead he's at a regular branch of Walmart. That's not the same place, though. This is different from what I could tell. This is why Megan didn't want him to come. Again, the guy never smiles. Something is wrong with him. You know, expat haven, up to 15,000 expat Americans live in Rosarito, just south of the border, with sunshine guaranteed and bargain beachfront views. Famous resort, Rosarito has attracted celebrities in the past, with the Rosarito Beach Hotel the town's most famous venue. Okay. Oh, I can't look at any more of this. So my point is that the stories we've been fed have been mostly bullshit. There's nothing wrong with this dude. Nothing wrong at all. He's a liar and a thief. But Megan is too. And now that tomorrow, if I can, I would follow up with the trad wife thing. And when I saw that, honestly, I am like in hysterics. Okay. So you guys, I want you to have a good night. And hopefully I can load this damn video. But this is all a load of shit. As these people just are. I knew it. And I've been proven right again.